Hello, this is Nico here, and this video is going to be a little bit different than what I normally do since I usually cover indie content, but I thought this was too cool to not share. This is going to be a showcase of my Pixel Paradise world on Minecraft that I built with my friend Scott. We haven't played recently. We haven't actually played since last year. We're waiting for one of the bigger updates to come out. But I'm just going to kind of showcase this world that we've built. We're kind of on a secluded island, and at the end I'll share the seed. But yeah, so this is our main base. This is down in the basement. We have an ender chest, and we have sets of armor all set up, obsidian walls, lapis lazuli floor, and lava. I'm sure you saw through the windows. There's a lot of chests on our first floor. This is how we sort all of our inventory. Then up here on the second floor, we have this room that used to be what the basement has become, but we had lightning strike through the windows one time before they added in lightning rods, and it didn't destroy the armor sets other than like the wood, as those caught on fire. But luckily we were near the base when it happened, otherwise it would have disappeared after a set amount of time. So we moved it to a safer location in the basement, even though it's clearly surrounded by lava, which is probably not the safest thing, as if you break one of the windows, then you got a problem. But then over here, we have just our greenhouse. It's nothing special. We just got some water running and a bunch of different crops. And we got some bamboo and cocoa is randomly kind of planted, and some berries. And then over here we have one of the entrances to our mine that's underneath. And then over here we have one that's kind of built in. This is our main mine entrance, which leads us down. And then I'll show that back path a little bit later on. Then over here we have this tall tower that Scott built. And this just gives an absolutely breathtaking view of the entire island. You'll get to see just how big the island is. It's pretty kind of unique and terrifying to be up this high, as when you look around, you could realize just how high you really are. So he almost exclusively built this on his own. I didn't really help him too much. This was his project. But you get a good view. You can see all the tall jungle trees and our fishing hut over there. A little sneak peek at some of the pixel sculptures. And there's other little mini islands kind of scattered across the island. There you can see our tree house in the left there of Kirby. And we'll check all that out later. But yeah, this is just a really high, kind of cool way you can get above the clouds. And pretty neat. So now if we head back down, we're going to check out kind of the rest of the island. There's a lot of different buildings that we've built. So this is a pretty satisfying island to kind of hang out on because there's so much going on. But the next thing we're going to look at is just our generic kind of pond. There was already a pond there. We kind of made it a little bit bigger and shaped it a bit to look a little bit cooler. This used to be our fishing pond, but we no longer fish here. We have an exclusive fishing hut, which is on a separate little island nearby. But over here we have kind of our frog habitat. We have just our frogs in here with some sea pickles in the bottom there and some water and lily pads and stuff. And they just kind of bounce around in here. And then this is our sheep kind of farm. We have some llamas and some horses in there. There's an ocelot in there as well. This is where I do a lot of the farming for the different colors of wool in order to make all those sculptures we'll show later. We have a couple beehives over here to farm honey. We have a bunch of different trees. It's kind of a little bit of a tree farm over there. There's all different kinds of trees that we've planted. And then this is really cool over here as well. This is like an underwater kind of, I guess if you were going to make an Airbnb in Minecraft, that's what this would be. You can see as we get in here that this is all glass all the way around. There's two beds and some lights and just a ton of coral reefs and all sorts of things. And yeah, this is Scott built this as well. He's pretty crafty. And he built this all on his own. It's just pretty neat to be underwater and kind of look around. You can see the fishes and see how far below the surface we are there, and some neat lighting on the ground there. But yeah, just another cool area to kind of come hang out in if you're just kind of want to take in the sights. And then as we come back up here, we're going to go back to our main island. You can see in the distance there's a tall tree there. That's where we're going to head next. That's where our fishing hut is. And then that's our main base there on the hill. And to the right of that is our portal that leads us to the Nether. We have a pretty good base in the Nether as well, but takes a little bit to get down there. So I'm not gonna head down there. That's not really much of a concern. It's probably nothing special. I'm sure there's a lot better Nether bases on YouTube, but I just kind of run past this. You can see there's some more coral and some sea pickles and stuff kind of down on my left as I swim over here to our fishing hut. We have like a little dock you can fish from, and if you come inside here, we have your oven and some of our stock. And then up on the second floor, we have just 2 beds. We built a lot of beds everywhere in case we need to sleep to get rid of the night. There's some lighting in there and nothing too fancy, but pretty neat little spot. We usually come here when we want to fish for enchantment books or something like that. It's not too far from the base. It's kind of pretty cool. And now we're going to swim back over and head to where the base is again. That's the greenhouse right in front of me. And you can start to see a little bit closer up. That's Pixel Pond, as I call it. But first, before we head over there, we're going to head to the tree house right here, as you can see. We built a tree house, and there's all vines going up the trunk of the tree, and that's how you get up there. We didn't build any ladders or anything like that. You just climb right up. And this is just kind of another place where you can come and take in the sights. It's all surrounded by glass. Got a little spot here if you want to go up on the roof and get a little bit higher. And yeah, you can see all the different trees and little islands, and just another place to come kind of hang out and look around. Of course, we put some lightning rods when they added those in on our various buildings to kind of deter the lightning from destroying our hard work. So we'll come down and we're going to head over here. One thing I didn't quite show yet was if you take that back path of the mine. This is our mine entrance I showed before. We have this long tunnel. This leads out to our boat dock as, to get to the other biomes and find other islands. You have to travel pretty far. So this is just where we happen to build just another little base. Again, there's some beds. And there's our boats and just a little boat dock. And you can see perfect timing, actually, as the sun's setting right now. See, there's just pretty much water for days in every direction. So we'll head back now. I'm going to actually sleep in the bed, get rid of the night. That way we don't get hassled while I'm trying to show off the pixel sculptures here at the end. Take a little nibble of some fish. And yeah, so we'll just keep on heading out here. And then here's the main attraction. And I will share the seed at the end of this if you want to have this island and build your own base. It's an older seed. We built this world a few years ago. But here is Pixel Pond. And in the bottom, I actually kind of made my first few sculptures were some treasures, and those are from the original Legend of Zelda. Obviously, it's kind of hard to see when you go in the water, but when you're on the surface, you can see I put some lighting down there. There's the red ring, and then a heart, which is pretty cool, and those are sitting at the bottom of the pond. And then over here, this little pink puffball, this is Kirby from Kirby's Adventure, doing his signature pose. And then right here, we have Donkey Kong Jr., then if we head around the pond the other way, watch out, bird. I used to have like a little mini volcano here, but I was always afraid something was going to destroy it and it was going to melt a bunch of this area. But this is kind of our trash incinerator, so if we have some materials and stuff we don't need, we'll throw them in there to get rid of them. Here's Link from The Legend of Zelda. One of the little dinos from Bubble Bobble. I don't remember if it's Bub or Bob. And then, of course, we have Mario from the original Super Mario Brothers. Then there in the distance a little bit, we have Pit from Kid Icarus. Then we needed some enemies, so, you know, we have a Boo there from Super Mario Brothers 3, and he's just kind of haunting the pond. And then right here, this is probably the one I'm the most proud of because of how big it is. This is Simon from Simon's Quest, and he's in his whipping pose, and he's hitting a slime from Castlevania 2 there. You can see it at the end of the whip, feeling his wrath. And then, speaking of slimes, over here, we have the titular character from Dragon Quest. This is a slime from Dragon Quest 1. A slime draws near. Command. If you are familiar with that game, you'll be familiar with that text. And then last but not least, over here, we, of course, in the distance, we have Pac-Man kind of all on his own way out there. So those are all the ones that I've built. Like I said, I haven't played in a while, but I thought this was a pretty cool world just in general. And then, you know, it takes a lot of effort to make these sculptures, getting the right colors of wood and stuff like that, because this is made in survival mode. This wasn't made in creative, which would have been much easier to do. But yeah, I'm going to show the seed here in a second, and I appreciate you watching this. If you enjoyed it, please, you know, like the video, comment if you have any questions, and subscribe. I mostly cover a lot of indie content, but, you know, if this video does well, maybe I'll show off some of our other worlds that we built together. So, thanks for watching.